Hiroo Onoda was a soldier in the Japanese Imperial Army in World War II. He was stationed in the Philippines, and in one single battle, all of his colleagues were either killed or surrendered. But Hiroo Onoda and 3 others, they fled into the jungle. This was February 28, 1945. And they were in the jungle for several months, and then the war ended. There were leaflets that were dropped from airplanes announcing the good news that the war was done, that you could surrender, that you could lay down your arms and stop fighting. But they did not believe the announcements. They thought, this is propaganda from the enemy. And so they kept hiding, they kept striving. At the end of 1945, more leaflets were dropped, but they did not believe these either. The months turned into years. One of Hiroo Onoda's colleagues surrendered. 2 more were killed in a fight out with the police, and Hiroo Onoda was the only one left. And he continued to live as if the war was going on for 29 years. For 29 years, he failed to believe the good news that the war was over. So what happened? What happened to Hiroo Onoda? This is where the story gets really fascinating. A young man really wanted to find Hiroo Onoda. He actually was looking in this order for Hiroo Onoda, a panda, and the abominable snowman. And the first person he wanted to interact with was Hiroo Onoda. So he went to the Philippines, he walked into the jungle, and after a few days of searching for him, he found him. And he tried to convince him to leave, that the war was finished, but Hiroo Onoda said, "I will not surrender until my commanding officer relieves me from duty." The Japanese government heard of this, and they sent his commanding officer, who was still alive, to the jungle to relieve Hiroo Onoda of his duty. And he walked out after nearly 30 years of being on the run, and he left for his freedom. So listen to what Hiroo Onoda wrote in his book. "For the first time, I was looking down upon my battlefield. Why had I fought here for 30 years? Who had I been fighting for? What was the cost?" The Christian story, the Easter story, is the glorious news that our commanding officer, Christ, has invited us to surrender, that we don't have to strive and fight anymore, that we don't have to waste our lives fighting battles that are worthless and don't matter. Because on the cross, Christ declared, "It is finished." We don't have to live with the pressure of trying to earn our way to God or work our way to God, which is impossible, because Christ did all of the work for us. The war is over. You no longer have to fight and strive. You no longer have to hide from this God who loves you so much. Because Jesus conquered the grave and conquered death, He wants to conquer your heart and give you everlasting life. Because Jesus is alive, the war is finished, and He invites us to Himself.